Can you whiteboard the subprime auto loans defaulting at higher rates? It feels like the subprime mortgage housing crisis. What do you mean it feels like it? A house is a 30-year, 300,000 plus asset. A car, okay, whatever the fuck Lego car this is a $50,000 9-year liability. I can't compare the two. $50,000 total TNW? Isn't a house a liability? I mean, if from a financial standpoint, technically no. I mean, you're going to lose money on your house. Everybody thinks they're going to make money on their house. They just don't know how much it costs to own a home. But it goes up in value over time. Cars go down in value over time. It's not true, Stocky. A Lamborghini fucking, boom dick 5,000 fucking went up in value. Okay, but generally speaking, houses are something people literally need to survive on a day-to-day basis. Cars are something you need to get to work, but they're considered a luxury, I guess, in some ways. But they go down in value. They're easy to replicate, and they are something that you can change easily. Houses are long-term, expensive and are in, supply-demand crunch right now. So while I told you guys my biggest my three biggest concerns, my Stocky's three biggest debt problems right now. Number one is student loans. Number two, cars. Number three is retirement crisis. Those are my three biggest concerns right now. Those are my three biggest economic concerns right now. I'll just say economic concerns. So Stocky's three biggest economic concerns today: student loans, cars, and then retirement crisis. Retirement crisis is a little bit more, things that we're going to be facing, but it's one that's getting worse every day because 13,000 people a day are turning 65. The labor market concerns me, but it's more so long-term unemployment because that's when people have to, and I'm talking about facing the stock market too. Student loans are a big one because the number one, let's break this down. Remember how I always tell you the economy and the market are not the same? The biggest increase in unemployment by demographic right now are recently graduated students. Those are also the people that have the least amount of exposure into the equities market. So their unemployment doesn't hurt the stock market as much as unemployment with people that are already in the market or losing jobs and long-term unemployed, because those are people that might have to sell equities to sustain their bills and pay for their life. That's a concern for draw out on the market. But student loans only go up, and we're sitting at about 8% unemployment rate right now for new graduates because the labor market has tightened, and people that are already in the market are willing to lower their pay or their title to stay employed, meaning that people that are more qualified are taking lower wage jobs, which then prices out new recruits coming in. And so it's huge right now. But people are still going to be taking on these loans. And the reason that I say student loans are even more concerning for me is because it's about to get worse. Okay? Yes, you're going to buy SoFi because of this, but still, it's going to get worse. Because not only are new graduates the highest rate of unemployment right now, as far as a single demographic of working, people that normally would work, but the BBBB has now put a cap, and I went over this, on federal student aid. Several programs and several caps. There are new caps, and there are programs that no longer qualify. Yet prices are not going to come down because colleges don't have an incentive, despite competition, to lower prices. So that means that more and more people are going to have to go to private loans to subsidize. Private loans don't work the same way as federal student loans. You hear me? So now people are going to continue to take out more loans, but they're going to owe more, and they're going to be actual repercussions and no payment plans and actual issues, which then will hurt their credit, will hurt their ability to buy things or finance things, and they'll have to finance things at a higher rate, which puts them even more interest, even more debt, and it's a perpetual problem. And with those people coming out with that debt unemployed, it's you know what I'm saying? So that's a big concern. Cars. Yes. 6.2% of all new car loans are subprime right now. For those who don't know what subprime means, it means somebody got a loan with under a 650 credit score. How the fuck do we let people with under 650 finance a fucking $50, $60, $70, $80,000 car? Well, it is what it is. Welcome to debt. Okay, they just push it out over 9 years at fucking 22% interest. Isn't there a risk that private loans can be dismissed by bankruptcy, but student loans cannot? If it's only supplement, it's not really going to be that big of an effect on those people. Those people, if they declare bankruptcy, it still fucks up their credit. You know what I mean? It's not like bankruptcy absolves you of everything and you just get a fresh start. Like it fucks you up big time. Those same people are going to be in the same financial hole, if not worse, regardless if they claim bankruptcy or not. But declaring bankruptcy, even if their federal student loans aren't absolved, they still owe that money. The privatized ones may be absolved in the short term, but I'm talking about the actual economic impact from those people. It's not like they're just going to be like, oh, I just declare bankruptcy, I start fresh. Like, it's a big problem. Gen Z average credit score is 674 right now, by the way, according to FICO. Very big correlation there. And subprime is a big problem. But here's the thing. You can do voluntary repossession. Voluntary repossession searches have gone up significantly, and voluntary repossession is a thing that people are doing right now. And while it does hurt your credit, it's something that can help you avoid, because they will, they'll take it back, getting your car repossessed. It's voluntary. It's much different than a foreclosure on a fucking house. But this is a concern because the amount of people that are taking out these loans because these kids don't know money. They don't understand finance. That's why I love this community and this show, because every day we pick up one or two more people that didn't understand about the basics of finance because it's just difficult to learn, or people never taught them, or it's fucking intimidating, and they stick around here and they learn a lot of this shit, and it's one or two more people that help us. We don't want everybody to learn about this shit, because then our economy would fail, but we want one or two people to get pulled out of the system a few times so we slowly but help and keep our economy still going before it collapses, right? But here's another one. And then the retirement crisis. I already went over this yesterday, or last week. It didn't make it to a YouTube short yet, but we looked at the median 401k, and you guys were absolutely fucking floored of what the median 401k is for people in America right now. There are 13,000 people a day turning 65, and the median 401k is something like $50,000, $60,000. America is not the world. Well, I'm not talking about the fucking world. Jesus fuck. I'm sorry I'm not paying attention to your little shithole country, wherever the fuck it is on the planet. Okay, I'll get to you soon. I'm in America. I'm talking about the American economy. All right? We're the biggest shithole country in the world, okay? But at least we're bigger than you, all right? So shut up. Sit down, little bro.
Excuse me, why are you covering the U.S. stock market? You know it's not the only stock market in the world.
Okay. There's Korean stock streamers. Hey, trying to learn, brother. 36 here. Listen, 36 is young in the game. 36 is young in the game. It really is. I mean, there's people that are back in April who were in their 50s that were like, Stocky, what do I do? I'm like, I don't know, but guess what? The market's down 26% in the last month. Do your Roth conversion. Like, there's always some opportunities for everybody, and some people did that, and it really changed their entire retirement. It's a bit misleading because these 60s plus have huge amounts in the IRA. Did you do any research before you typed that? The median IRA balance for people 55 to 65 is $185,000. Even if you add that plus the 65,000 401k, that puts you at 250, right around what, 250,000? If you think $250,000 combined in IRA and 401k is enough for a fucker at 65 to retire and live off of, I've got news for you. That is nothing. So it's not misleading. It's an example of how low it is. If I were to say the median total valuation, and that's after the market has gone absolutely insane, the median total valuation of people age 55 to 64, combining their 401k and IRA completely, is $250,000. That is scary as shit. Because even if you assume that we're not at a 7% increase rate where you have a 4% drawdown rate, let's say it's 10%, and you give yourself a 6% drawdown rate, 6% of this, what's that? Like 15,000 a year? So that means they can draw down safely, if you consider it safe. And let's say they don't have a 60-40 split. Let's say they're pure equities. They're drawing down about $1,200 a month from retirement, $1,200 a month from Social Security. That means they're living off of $2,400 a month, not including income tax or capital gains tax, depending on how they're structured. $2,400 a month, even with Medicare? That's a retirement crisis. Yeah, Stocky, but if they already own their home, yeah, well, their home valuation is so high, they're paying more than that in their fucking insurance and maintenance and taxes on their home. Boom, gone. But let's say they do get by with that, everything. Oh, but they're not on the street, Stocky. They're house poor. And you know what somebody who's 65 plus who's house poor is? Not contributing to the economy. So even if they somehow survive on rice and beans and they live in their house and they barely get by, and let's say one fucking maintenance issue in their house doesn't bankrupt them, they're still not having enough money to contribute to the economy, which still slows down the economy and the GDP. It's still a retirement crisis. Reverse mortgages are the biggest fucking scam. Tom Selleck should be fucking ashamed of himself, but never mind. Who's the biggest winner in the retirement crisis? My third biggest dividend hold, VTR. Retiring is bad for the economy. Well, it depends. If they have money to retire and they're spending money, they're still contributing to GDP. Can it be fixed or is it too late? What, the retirement crisis? It can be fixed. I already told you. You're not ready for this conversation. I met somebody named 39 Daff, and her and I had a conversation about this, and I was surprised that she was on board with it. Stocky can fix the retirement crisis today. I know how to fix this problem and bring us a surplus. I'd be like Bill Clinton without getting his dick sucked. It's very simple. You go to Detroit. We got to rebuild Detroit, okay? The Lions aren't really using their stadium. I mean, opposing teams use their stadium more than they do. You go to Detroit. You get that big fucking football stadium, right? And here's what you do. You take 3 elderly people, 3 people age 65 and older. You try to get them by weight, height, walking ability. If they're in like a walker, you can put like spikes on the end of it. Like if they're in a wheelchair, they're in a scooter, whatever. And they enter into the arena. 3 Social Security checks go in and 3 exit. 3 checks do. And you put them in there and you have them fight to the death gladiator style. Okay, whether it's with fucking, I don't know, walkers with spikes at the end of it. You give them some fucking, I don't know, one of those little, like, do they still have those little clipper things where you used to grab and pull things off the top shelf, but like they have like electrical nodes to them or something like that, and you have them fight to the death. Number 1, you have ticket sales. All right, box seats are reserved for people that are going to inherit the money of the losers. Ticket sales, I mean, that's pretty big. Broadcasting rights. 3, food and beverage, okay? Food and beverage is a big one. You can even do like novelty ones, like corn on the cob, but it's like been cut off the cob, or like, mashed potatoes, but like without the skinned part, like you could like do novelty items depending on what grandma, was her favorite food or whatever, popsicles and stuff. You're going to sell like novelty, like what we call cruise booze, right? Where you take a big thing of like mouthwash, you pour it out, and then you fill it up with vodka and like a little bit of green or blue food coloring, and then rewrap it. That you could drink that. There's like novelty stuff. So now you've got sales, right? These are sales. This helps the local economy. Now, here's what happens. They fight to the death, and here's the incentive. Only one walks out, but the one that walks out gets to keep another Social Security check. So now they get 2 Social Security checks. The 3rd one goes back to the treasury. So the local economy makes money off of the sport, off of the spectacle. The individual now has twice as much money, and the 3rd check goes back to the treasury. So now we are helping the local GDP. We are solving the national debt, and we are making people better off in their life. Do you understand what I'm doing here? Y'all ain't ready to have this conversation. Y'all too soft right now. Y'all want the problem fixed, but y'all don't want to talk about what needs to be done. And I'm okay with that. But why Detroit? That's a whole other whiteboard. But I love my grandma. If you really love grandma, you better take her ass to the gym. All right? Give her a little extra insure, okay? Fucking put some protein, creatine in that shit. Take grandma to the fucking gym, all right? You want grandma to fucking do the grandma's got bragging rights. Are performance-enhancing drugs allowed? You goddamn right there. You think we're drug testing them? Jesus, an 80-year-old guy would take him 6 days to piss enough for a drug test, all right? Grandma would have a heart attack if I gave her creatine? Fuck it, she's DQ'd then, bro. What are you talking about? Y'all don't want to talk about fixing the problems. Y'all just want to bitch about them.